Пані і панове, мене звуть Андрій Шевченко від
all the journalists who are telling the world about our fight for freedom. And we have a special guest today. I'm about to welcome Christoph Mueller, who is a musician from Germany, and he is now working on a very special collaboration. He wants to bring together musicians and orchestras from different parts of the world to perform together in support of Ukraine. Mr. Mueller, welcome here in Lviv. Please tell us about your idea.
Hello all together. I'm very glad to be here, Slava Ukraini. And my project, our project we have is called WePlayForUkraine.com. And it will be about that musicians of Ukraine, top musicians, professional musicians of classical orchestras perform together with the same kind of classical top professional musicians in Europe. They will all together perform the Ukrainian Anthem and the European Anthem, which is Beethoven's 9th Symphony. The idea to this I had already in the year 2014 when there was the so-called fish market flash mob from Odesa. And you might remember this video, you can show it probably afterwards, where the conductor of the Odesa Philharmonic Orchestra made a flash mob in the fish market, and they appeared one after the other, and they played the Ode to Joy, and the choir of the Opera House of Odessa sang then Ode to Joy of Ludwig van Beethoven. This was immediately in the moment when the first Russian attack started and they annexed the Crimea and started war in Donbass. And during this turmoil, it happened, this video, what Robert Earl made with his orchestra and people of the choir. And I thought it is such a brilliant thing, everybody should see it. But then, you all know the things became forgotten. It was Minsk I, Minsk II. Also German Chancellor Angela Merkel was very responsible for this Minsk agreement, and Foreign Minister Steinmeier of Germany, who is now the president of Germany. Those people, they were in this time responsible for a kind of development which I am personally absolutely not content with. So
whom do you have on board so far?
Pardon me?
Whom do you have on board so far? Musicians, orchestras?
I have now, am I talking too long about this prelude? We have now about 95 musicians from top orchestras in Germany, the WDR Symphony Orchestra, the Beethoven Orchestra Bonn, and so on. And we have also other individuals. And the idea is that individual musicians can send their personal contribution. They can open this website here and then download, further below, they can download their music and the play-along track. They put it in the ear and they play along their individual parts and then upload again on the same site. And so we know all this technique from Corona because musicians couldn't perform live, and so they had to do something else. And now the idea is that musicians worldwide, they will collect together and support Ukraine while playing their national anthem, your Ukrainian national anthem. That's the idea. Yeah, and because we have a special opportunity that the Odesa Philharmonic Orchestra and the choir of Odessa, they also recorded it already, and they will make a special recording for this project, and that's why I'm here in Ukraine now, and I'm very, very happy to be here today and to meet you great people here in Ukraine.
In terms of the timeline, where are you at right now?
The timeline will be that on Friday I will travel to Odessa and meet Igor Chernitsky, the conductor and the other people, Nadezhda Babich of the Odessa Opera. And on Saturday we will make the recording. And I hope also to find some interesting journalists down there in Odessa to report about this project. And after this recording, I will continue to Kyiv and also meet there with people maybe with Alexander Hornstein from the National Symphonic Orchestra of Ukraine, who is also a supporter of us, and many others. We have already a lot of great musicians and conductors and managers and people of the artistic field in Ukraine. And I am pretty sure after this trip, we will get even more from abroad, from France, from Italy, from Spain, from wherever in Europe, Baltic states, Poland. And when it's finished, it should be quickly finished, then it will be a nice video which will come out and hopefully will have a great impact on your situation here in Ukraine.
When do you hope to put this together?
Already in month of March, 4 months ago. The project started and we thought it would be very, very fast finished because everybody would contribute because it's so important. So we had immediately 30 contributions and then it declined. Especially my fellows in Germany, hello, if somebody hears me, they are talking about gas prices and things which is maybe not the most important from my point of view. When I see the photos here of, when I see the pictures of people dying and it's nothing more than important than stop the war.
How do you explain to musicians abroad, outside of Ukraine, why this collaboration, this performance is going to matter, why it is important?
I mean, when they start asking questions why this is important, then you can just appeal on the feeling and say it's Europe and Ukraine is united. It is one, and this is a musical point of explaining this. We all have our national anthems, and there is even the European Anthem, which is the Ode to Joy, where there are no lyrics, by the way, because you cannot translate an anthem into 12 languages. So when we perform the languages together, when we perform the anthems together, then it will also be a symbol of unity as a whole. And it will be a very short video. It will be about maybe 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, very short. But it should go viral and the people would say, wow, wow, that's our intention. And I'm pretty sure this will be a good thing.
I think we can show the website. Is there anything specific you would like our audience to know about it? About the website?
What about the website?
Any specific suggestions? Any special thoughts about this?
I mean, when you see this website there, you can see on the top point, it's called News. And when you click on this thing, you will see the developments, what is going on, because there I have a blog and show pictures and little films. And it is, as you see, translated in 7 languages. From China also we like to have people. And it shows the video what the Odesa choir and orchestra made in February, right after the first attacks.
Have you managed to meet anyone from the Odessa people who recorded that video in 2014?
Yes, I met one man whose name is Stas Zagdeev, and he was very responsible in the beginning for that. But the other people of the opera I just met on Zoom. And I'm so happy to meet them now, like the conductor, Vyacheslav Chernovolic, or the man who helped a lot in this, his name is Igor Chernitsky, and also Nadezhda Babic, she's the director of the opera. And those people, I'm so happy to meet them now in person. And Robert Earl, the conductor of the Philharmonic Orchestra, who was the inventor of this flash mob. Him I met personally last week in Bonn, my hometown. And Robert, he is now on his way to the United States to hold lectures there also. He will meet, for example, Timothy Snyder on the Yale University. And so Robert is just a man, he speaks 7 languages, a brilliant man.
It's not your first visit to Ukraine this year, I suppose.
This year, yes. This year it is my first visit. During the war, I was not here, and my wife, she's Ukrainian. Praise to my wife. I know more about Ukraine than the ordinary Germans, and I feel it is my duty tell the Germans more about Ukraine, and I want also to have them listen.
What do you feel about the war, and what's your impression of the people here during the war?
Yes, my feeling about the war is that it is very, very stupid, unjust and stupid, just senseless, useless. And it's just because of one dictator, his name we know all. And I am a German, and we in Germany had also a dictator called Adolf Hitler. The Russians those days, they had also a dictator called Stalin, and Hitler and Stalin, those two made a lot of things, and I think Putin is a synthesis of those two. That's my opinion, my personal opinion. And the Germans, they should be very aware about this functioning of propaganda, and because Goebbels, the Reichspropaganda minister of Hitler, made also this propaganda very effectively, but not with the technical solutions they have now with the social media. And the other thing is the propaganda in Nazi Germany took only 12 years from 1933 until 1945, only 12 years, and you see the outcome, the Second World War, and so many killed people. And here with Russia, we have propaganda now 20 years, and so I am not afraid. I think this can become much worse, and so I think the Ukrainians are so brave, and they deserve all support, and especially with weapons, with the heavy weapons, with tanks and aircrafts, and also my personal opinion is also with personnel. So Ukraine should become a member of NATO, and sorry about that, but the German Chancellor Angela Merkel and Nicolas Sarkozy in 2008, they made a big mistake. They hindered Ukraine become a member of NATO. So I feel pretty guilty about all of that for my fellow compatriots in Germany. Sorry.
Are you going to perform yourself as part of this performance, this collaboration?
Yes, because it's my project.
Will you play a piece?
I will play also on the flute in it, of course. But I'm not a classical pro musician because I was a jazz musician. I was member of the the big band of the German Armed Forces, and I was traveling with this band also a lot, and I was playing saxophone.
So we should look for the flute, right?
Yeah, I didn't take it with me now.
I mean at the recording.
Oh, the recording,
yes.
Yeah.
All right, Christoph Mueller, a German musician who is working on this very special collaboration of orchestras and musicians in support of Ukraine. Go ahead.
May I just say something to the classical musicians? Please, будь ласка, I should have learned this phrase, but please contribute. We need a lot of Ukrainian musicians in this project, professional musicians from orchestras.
Thank you, Mr. Mueller. Danke schön.
Дякую.
Please follow our upcoming announcement on the next events and stand with Ukraine.